Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup, hosted by the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Yours truly, Andrew Gay, Gilbert Paiz, and Tom Fox in the studio today to run over our top news picks of the week. Tom, as always, you want to do the honors and kick us off today, sir?
Sure. So I'm going to pick three stories today. The first is the resolution by Kerr County Commissioners Court opposing the battery storage facilities that may or may not have been coming to Kerr County or even Kerrville. It's a pretty nonsensical motion. Number one, Kerr County has nothing to do with whether one is approved. It comes from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, which, of course, does not care one iota about anything local, only about the business environment of the great state of Texas. But more importantly, the concern seems to be that the batteries could catch fire and burn. They should have been at Rotary yesterday when the Red Cross, the Red Cross talked to us about how they help fire victims. There's just no point in this. Battery storage is a critical element of our energy infrastructure. It's not always used, and hopefully it'll never be used. But I've been in enough power outage situations where if there was storage available to turn on power for one day, I was all for it for that one day. So we're going to have battery storage in the state of Texas. It's completely inane to say we don't want it here. On a much more positive note, Schreiner University has broken ground on the sports complex. It is called the Eddington Sports Performance Complex to replace the current Eddington Gymnasium on the university campuses. On the university campus, President Charles McCormick said the gym will serve as a training facility for men's and women's wrestling teams, as well as space for intramural games and community and regional tournaments. Kudos to Schreiner. President McCormick has just led a huge explosion of growth, both in physical facilities and new programs at Schreiner University. We're going to have a football team starting next year. So continued growth at Schreiner. And then our final story is my friend Jeff Wendling has filed to run for the Headwaters Groundwater Conservation District. That's a mouthful. And he's going to run for Precinct 1. Jeff has lived here in Kerrville or Kerr County for multiple years. He's been in both U.S., national, and domestic law enforcement for more than 50 years. Jeff's a great guy. I know him personally. He just stepped down as president of our Rotary chapter of Kerrville. So good luck, Jeff, in your new role of running for the Headwaters Groundwater Conservation District Board. What about you guys?
Gilbert.
Yes, I've got two business stories, and I'd love to share them with everybody. The first story I'll share with you is the owners of Mini Mart have decided to sell out the stores to another family operation that runs convenience stores. David and Sylvia Dobbs, these are the children of the original owners, Junior and Ann Fritz, have decided to sell their interest in the Mini Marts. And of course, if you live in the Hill Country, anywhere in Kerr County, Kendall, Bandera, and Gillespie counties, you've seen a Mini Mart. They're all the little stores with the orange and white logos on them. They're very big in about doing community support, and so they frequently do things to help out the community. And one of their most recent community support activities was raising money for volunteer fire departments, and that went over very well. But either way, the Fritz family has decided that they're going to go ahead and sell to the Fisher Market. The mini marts here in Kerrville started back in 1973, and the group they're selling to is called the Fisher Neighborhood Markets, and they started in New Braunfels back in 1977. So they have a very similar path in towards business. Now, of course, Fisher Markets is not in this part of the Hill Country, but they're going to move this way with the purchase, and it's a wonderful thing to see that the Fritz family's decided, what, maybe we need to just do something different and turn over this business and help it grow. And they're obviously things are interesting in the Hill Country, and it's a growing market. So it makes sense that somebody else that's already operating here or in the Hill Country would want to be a part of this. So good thing for them. Don't think much is going to change. In fact, maybe we'll see some more Fisher family neighborhood markets come up over time. That's news story number one. And news story number two, if you haven't been paying attention, there's a new bank that just opened up in Kerrville. It's called Texas Regional Bank, and they're occupying the space on Junction Highway where the old Bank of America used to be. that's right across the street from Sunflower Bank and right next to the Entertain Mart shopping center area.
I thought you were about to say right next to another bank.
It is right next to another
Well,
bank.
technically, yeah.
Technically,
Sunflower.
it's Sunflowers across the street, and then, of course, Broadway Bank is on the corner there, too. Texas Regional Bank, they got started back in the Valley of Texas, in the Brownsville, McAllen area years ago, and they've slowly been expanding northward. And they've got branches now all over the hill country. In fact, I looked at their website. They've got a branch in Bernie. They're going to open a branch in Fredericksburg here pretty soon. They've got a branch in Dripping Springs, San Antonio, Austin. They are just doing their best to cover as much as they can of South and Central Texas. And I would imagine that their plan is to continue to grow over time. But for now, they're being led in Kerrville by Justin Foster. And Justin used to work for Community First Bank, that is
Now South Star,
that's now South Star
or that
Bank.
building.
Yes, yes, that's used to be located there. And Justin's been a longtime banker. I think he's worked for a couple other financial institutions, and he's come back to Kerrville. He was doing something else after he left Community First, and then he's coming back into banking. So good for them. They've remodeled that whole building. It looked like initially they were just going to slap their name on it and then open the branch,
No,
but
they gutted it.
eventually they ended up gutting the place, and now they've redone it and it looks beautiful. And they're going to hold a grand opening
October the 10th,
on
Thursday.
October the 10th, a Thursday. And I'm sure they would be happy to have the local community members come out and support them. And of course, here in Kerrville, it's so funny. The one thing that people complain about so much is that we have so many banks. In case you feel like we need some more banks, there's a little bird that told me the other day there may be two other banks coming to Kerrville. One of them, namely Frost Bank, we've heard from several sources that Frost Bank, which of course is the huge regional bank based in San Antonio, is coming to Kerrville soon. They're supposedly going to be right on the corner of Clay Street and Junction Highway, which is right next door to where the Texas Regional Bank just opened.
And then Kerr
So-
County Federal Credit Union's right across the street from that too.
Oh,
It's
that's right,
Four,
Kerr County-
four banks in one block. If
That's right.
that is true, that Frost does come here, and that's
That-
end up where they land.
That's right. That's right. So that's one bank that we've heard from several sources that is coming. And then we have also heard unconfirmed reports of another bank, namely Chase Bank, considering Kerrville for a branch. They may be located, at least the word is on the street, that they may be located right there on the corner of Harper Road and Junction Highway. That, of course, like I said, is unconfirmed by us, but we've heard from several sources. So if you haven't gotten your fill of local community banks, just wait a little while and there might be two more coming pretty soon.
I would even add on top of that, if you're young, like I was once in my mid-20s, and you're looking for a career opportunity, you should go talk to one of those banks if you're unsure about what to do. I think that's a great employment opportunity you could get. And if you're a young person or a young professional, you could get some great business experience just working at entry-level banking positions. So
We both
Um,
started
we
at
did.
local,
Thank-
smaller financial firms.
Where our careers cross paths. Anyway, okay. Thank you, Gilbert. Thank you, Tom. Two quick things from me. One is there's a emergency preparedness expo tomorrow morning at the Happy State Bank Expo Hall. It's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The debut last year featured 41 different vendors, offered displays of educated visitors about all manner of emergency disaster preparedness plans and products. So that's tomorrow at the Happy State Bank Expo Hall. And then my second mention is something that's upcoming next weekend is the rescheduled river cleanup sponsored by UGRA for our community collective trash pickup in the Guadalupe River to help keep that river pristine and clean, since it starts, or the headwaters of the Guadalupe River start right here in Kerr County. So that is next weekend. If you're interested in that, we have a team of people out there. I know plenty of other people around the community, businesses, entities, nonprofits that have signed up to volunteer their time and efforts for that next weekend.
I do believe there's still time to sign up. I got an email
Absolutely.
from some of the folks there at UGRA, and they said if you're still interested, you can always sign up, even on the day of. You can just show up at Flat Rock Park.
Yes, you might
And-
not get a shirt, I don't think, but you can definitely just show up.
That's right. And then they can assign you to a location, or you can join a team and you can help participate, clean up. And anything we can do to clean up our rivers is
Yeah.
great, because any trash that falls in the river here in Kerrville ends up downstream somewhere. And so if
Yeah.
we can save our downstream neighbors some time and effort, and it'll just help all of us long term.
Okay, that's it from our side. Tom, any thoughts on Labor Day weekend?
University of Texas Longhorn football team opens its season tomorrow. So I'm going to be checking out the Horns. Welcome to the SEC, Texas. There's a smaller school somewhere in Central Texas. Can't remember its name, but they're playing Notre Dame at night. So I might check that out.
Should it be the folks named Texas A&M?
That seems to ring a bell. I think they've got something somewhere.
They're probably going to be teamed by Notre Dame anyway, so it's okay.
So anyway, but college football's back, and then of course Presage is pro football. But for this weekend, college football, Houston Astros leading the American League West. Check out the Astros as well. I'm looking forward to a great Labor Day weekend, and I hope all our listeners have some fun or with their family, and most important, are safe.
Amen.
Amen. That's great. Great way to end. Great note to end on. Unless you want to add anything. about this
Tom, I
weekend
wanted to
or
just mention
thoughts?
too, isn't your Rotary Club sponsoring a walkathon this weekend?
It's not a walkathon, but it is a 5K walk for Kerrville Pets Alive.
Oh,
8 a.m. on the river on Monday. We're taking pet donations. So if you want to come out and support a
Lovely.
great cause, bring a bag of food, help out Kerrville Pets Alive, enjoy the river at early morning, or at least early-ish morning, 8 a.m. It'll be nice and cool. So check us out.
And
Sounds
that's
like
right next to some newly finished artwork, mural paintings too, in the back
yes,
of the
yes,
library.
yes.
The Okay. All right, Tom. Take care. We'll see y'all